Hi, everyone. You might want to skip this episode because I don't know how relatable it is going to be, or I don't want you wasting your time. I guess probably just skip this episode. I'm just recording this because it'll make me feel better to pretend like I'm talking to somebody about this. Because it's like almost, what time is it? 10:30 at night. So who am I going to call at this hour? Not Ghostbusters. So I'm just going to get this all out. This has to do with Alicia and me. Or I don't care. I don't use grammar properly when I talk. I feel like I'm living in bizarro land. But anyways, I just want to say a couple of things. First, I think I forgot to clarify in the last episode that the reason why I asked her to move out was because we secured this house with a VA loan. And because I'm the veteran and I'm responsible for the house because I took the loan out from the VA, if that makes any sense. So it's not like I was being heartless and being like, get the fuck out. It's just because like this is kind of my house, I guess, since, I used the VA's loan. So that was what that was. I'm not trying to talk shit just to talk shit about my wife at all. I just need to get this stuff out because I don't know how this is my life right now. So first, before I get into anything, I need to tell on myself because I don't want to get to the end of this episode. If anybody is like that bored and still listening, I don't want to get to the end and just decide, I ran out of time, don't really want to tell on myself. So I'm just going to get that out of the way. I summoned Alegna. I don't know if I've mentioned Alegna on here before, but it's my name spelled backwards. It's the name that Alicia gave the monster inside of me that came out once a month when I was on my period, because I was diagnosed with PMDD. I was a fucking bitch. Oh my God. Fucking, I don't miss that stuff at all. But once they took all my shit out, I had that hysterectomy, I feel like Alegna went away because I haven't had to worry about her. I haven't seen her in months. And like, we're coming up on June now. So like, I figured she'd moved out of the country or something. But I summoned her today, and it turns out she didn't go that far. So I still have a lot of work to do on myself. But what happened was, it's been getting to me, this weird situation where like, I told Alicia I want a divorce. She has not said anything about it. She's not brought up anything that I've said. Like, it's just like I'm talking to a wall. Like, I'm not getting any response from her, which is scary. That's not normal. And so as the days have been going by, I have just been trying to keep it together and be like, okay, maybe she'll come around and talk. Maybe she'll come around and talk. And then like yesterday, we were going over like the budget, since we now have to alter some of the way that we're paying the bills. And so I got my budget book out and I was like, all right, sit down, let's get this going. And I was friendly. I really was. I was friendly. I was in a good mood. And she just started crying, and I was like, well, why are you crying? Like, do you want to talk about it at all? Like, I touched her shoulder. Like, I really wanted to help her. Like, I don't know. I wanted to listen to her or something so that she would feel a little bit better. But she just got up and walked away, which, given the situation, I can't say I blame her. But then I sat there and I was just like, damn, like, she just doesn't want to say anything to me. And so the story I started writing is an old one that sometimes I pull out and add a couple of sentences to it, and, like how that goes. So I was like, wow, like, she really just doesn't like me or doesn't love me. Like, am I that bad of a person? Like, I'm just asking for some love over here. But so that's when the spiral started. And then today I finished the book I was working on, and I was like, oh, what can I do with my time now? Because I don't have any jobs that are pending. So I decided to do some dividing up in the kitchen of stuff. This is getting to the I'm telling on myself part and just giving you context because I'm autistic and you understand. But in my mind, when I'm separating, and I know this is bizarre. I know I sound bizarre. I don't care. I'm in bizarre land. This is a weird situation. I know. When I was in the military and I was deployed, I'd have to deal with roommates. I'm pretty sure I talked about that shit on here before. But like when I had roommates, I was very like, I kept my stuff to myself. You know, like everything was separate. I didn't want my stuff getting mixed in with theirs and like the bathroom sink, things like that. I've always been that way. Mostly it's like, these are my things, don't touch them, take the hint. And also because I don't want to be accused of something happening to something of somebody else's. And they're like, well, you use this. Nope, I don't use any of your stuff. Anyways, when that's in my mind, since I've decided, like, I don't think I can't continue in a marriage that's, like, so unhealthy. So, like, in my mind, I am trying to, like, I've compartmentalized it a bit so that I'm trying to view it as, like, a roommate situation. So I just have been every day, bit by bit, like, going around the house, like, dividing stuff up. Like, because even though she's living in the back of the house and she has a little corner out in the library area of her with her things, there's still the kitchen stuff. And so I was really like that immature that I claimed 2 cabinets for myself and took everything out of them, put the shit that I wanted in them. I told her to stay out of them. Those are my cabinets. Like, I stooped to that level. And then it gets better. She didn't seem to care about that too much. And I guess I was looking for a reaction because, like, I haven't gotten anything from her. So that was my goal. So I basically just cranked the music up, turned the fucking bass up, all the way. So it was shaking the house. I turned the TV up in my room because it's not that far away from hers. I just acted like a 5-year-old. I was like saying a bunch of shit. I said mean things. I made fun of her weight. And there's no excuse for that. That is the only thing I feel bad for doing. Because I am an asshole. But, yeah, that wasn't cool. I shouldn't have done that. And, like, I know how that feels, too. So, I can't take that back. So, I did that. And I was just being a dick. And so, she still was in her room. So, I was like, you know what? Let's just make this more interesting. And so, I went back there. And I plopped down in her armchair thing back there. I'm surprised that, like, it could fit back there with the bed that she's got because the room is, like, so small. And I was like, why aren't you saying anything about this divorce? Like, why aren't you asking anything, saying anything? Like, where's your voice? Like, where's your voice? Like, what do you have to say about any of this? Like, give me something, anything. Like, I'm not getting any words from her, So I reverted back to my old ways. I knew what I was doing and I did it anyways. And I did it because I was like, you know what? It doesn't seem like she likes this new version of me. This version that like I like, other people seem to like except for her. Even my therapist seems to not mind that I'm a better human. But since this doesn't seem to be welcome in this house, let me just bring back our old friend Alegna to cause some more conflict. And so what did I do? Oh no, I think I just kept talking. Then she got up, she closed her laptop because she was on her bed on her laptop like usual with like the TV on. And she got up and she started walking out. I'm like, where are you going? She's like, I got a doctor's appointment. So when she was out, what I did was I took all of her hundreds of books, threw them in a room. I just threw a bunch of shit. Her room just looked like crap. Everything was everywhere. I was mad. I was upset. There's no excuse. I don't feel bad for it probably because I'm recording it like hours after this happened, but I don't feel like angry or anything. So I thought it was like okay to record, but that's what I did. And then I was like, oh God. Then I sent her some like fucked up texts. And then I told her that when she got home, I was going to start reading my journals to her so that she can see like what's been going on in case like I'm not making it clear enough for her. So she gets home and she sees that I did all that shit to her room and threw her stuff everywhere, and she rightfully got pissed, and then she left. And an hour later she came back and I had calmed down but I had my journals ready. So I proceeded for an entire hour while she was cleaning up some of the stuff that like I had thrown, and she was also making dinner. I just read my journal entries to her, going all the way back to when this started, like almost 2 years ago. And yeah, well, before I get to that part, I think that was the last of it. And then she was like, I think I've had enough for tonight. And I'm like, okay. So I just came to my room because, oh my God, like just to go back a little bit, like when I was throwing shit around, that was complete alugna. That was the stuff I used to do all the time to her, which was not appropriate, which is why I needed therapy and needed to not act that way. And I think it's just been like, I keep those old thoughts and feelings have been creeping up for days and days and days, and I keep stuffing them back down with like the shit that I'm like learning and trying to apply. And then it just got to the point where it's like, you know what, she must think I'm like this awful person. Let me just go ahead and act like an awful person, living up to the label, that kind of thing. And so that's why I acted like a child, and I did that shit, and I don't feel bad that I did it. I didn't break anything. I just threw it all around. Because this is what somebody going on fucking 40 does, right? God, I feel like such an immature child, but that's what I did. So I'm telling on myself that was not an appropriate way to react and to express my feelings. I'm well aware of that. However, I do not feel bad. I don't feel bad that I did that. So yeah, I'm a bitch. But anyways, so like, as I'm like, and surprisingly, like, I mean, I was calm at that point. I was like, oh, she's listening to me read my journal entries to her. So I'll just continue on calmly. And I would just kind of quietly follow her around the house as I read to her. And what was illuminating to me was like, as I'm rereading this stuff, going all the way back, it would be like, almost every day I would have a journal entry of like, I don't feel like my wife loves me. I don't feel like she sees me. I don't feel like she wants to spend time with me. And then like there would be like maybe a couple of weeks where I was like journaling about other things because things between us must have been better. And then it would go back to she was treating me like shit again. And when I say treating me like shit, I just mean like not wanting to spend time with me, not wanting to be an active participant in the marriage, like just that stuff. I view that as being treated like shit because like, there's two people in this marriage, not just me. Like, I feel like it's just me, and it's been just me for like a very long time, and that's lonely. But like these inconsistencies in my behavior that she had talked about before, as I was reading these entries, I was like, that's why I'm inconsistent, because like apparently I've been reacting to whatever she's been throwing out, which that's the story of my life. I know that that's not a good thing to do, but it's hard to avoid. Like if somebody's negative all the time, it's hard not to be negative. You know what I mean? Like, so anyways, it was sad as I was reading those entries to her because that was my last ditch effort. Like, where is my wife? Like, where are you? Like, here, let me read to you what's been going on for the last couple of years, just in case you think I'm like making all this up. And there were stretches of like, like I said, good times. I would read some of those entries too, to remind her of the things that I was thinking of about her, how she made me feel, like the good stuff too. And it would that went on for an hour. I went through 2 entire journals. And it would just be like a pattern of shit between us is not good. And then it's good. And then it's not. And then it is. And so like I had noticed, and I'm not like, I'm going to be in therapy for a long time. Like I'm not like perfect. And I definitely like make mistakes, but I don't remember what I was just getting ready to say. Oh my God. I didn't even take a drink of water. Anyways, I don't remember where I was going with that, but it was sad to me. I was kind of glad that she told me she had had enough, because like I told her, I was like, let me know when you're done listening. And she told me, and I was like, okay, and I left because I don't want to go all the way back into old behavior where like I made the environment like unhealthy, because I could feel myself starting to gravitate back toward those old thoughts and behaviors, and I already gave in to a little bit of them today. But I was just like, no, I need to go. We need to just be apart and cool down and stuff. But yeah, so I don't know what to do. I've asked her, like, do you have like a plan or something? Like, what are you thinking about, like, in the next several months? And she's like, I haven't even thought of that. And I was like, okay. I was just trying to, like, I'm trying to understand, like, what are you thinking of? So, because I'm not getting anything, and I don't get it. Like, not understanding something for the longest time, like, not just not having the answer, but like months and months and months of not understanding why something is happening is so fucked up. I hate it. Which is why I ended up finding out that I'm autistic, because I kept at it and kept at it and kept at it. I was like, oh, this is what's going on. And I was only half right, because I was not a healthy communicator, like I had mentioned. I needed to get back into therapy and get back into like working on myself, because I don't like the person I'm becoming, and it's not helpful for our marriage. And so I went and I did that, and I've been applying the stuff I've been learning, and it's like, I don't know, like things have been kind of coming together for me in the last year or so since I found out that I'm autistic. Things make more sense now. I see things differently. I understand myself better. So like, I feel like I'm back in a situation where there's just this thing that keeps happening, and I don't understand it. And I've taken up till today. So before, like, not today, I'm not counting today, but up until today, I have had healthy communication 95% of the time. I've been applying all of the stuff that like I know is healthy to apply, and some of it's not so bad, and some of it has become just me now because I've been doing it so much. And so, like, you know what I mean? It's just hard to incorporate healthy behaviors when you're not used to being healthy. And so I really think that like finding out I'm autistic kind of brought all of that together, all those years of therapy that I had, and all kinds of stuff. So like now I'm over here, like I'm not better. Like I'm better. Yes. I'm not perfect. I'm not cured. I'm not like, you got to stop going to therapy. I'm not a person that doesn't have problems. Like, I'm flawed just like anybody else is. But I haven't been like this for months, and it's not easy. Some days are, some days aren't. And I'm not blaming her. Like, it's not her fault. I'm making choices on how I react to things. But it's just like, once I took away my unhealthy behaviors, hers remained. And that became my new focus. Okay, so she's really depressed. Okay, she's doing TMS again. All right, she's having a hard week. Every day she's coming home and saying she's tired. Every day I feel her slipping like further and further away from me. And at one point she was suicidal, didn't tell me, but told her therapist, which I'm glad that she did. And I told her, no matter what's going on between us, you are not to not tell me that that's how you're feeling. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a human, you're a human. We can like shelf the bullshit and focus on you and your safety. Like, oops, I hit that. Anyways, where am I at now with stuff? I don't know. Oh, there I was. Yeah, so, like, I don't know what to do. I can't do anything, I guess. Is like, I can't. I'm not trying to, like, fix her. I want her to get better. I don't want her to be so depressed. I don't want her, like, if she's treated me this horribly, like, she's treating herself so much more worse. And that makes me sad. It makes me sad that she goes to therapy every week, and like, it's not like she's not made changes. She has, but a lot of, I don't know how to say this. there's just some things that have just been an issue. They keep coming up. They haven't been solved. And I'm not saying that depression is like, you can't cure it. I'm not trying to be like, it's her fault. She's depressed. I'm not blaming her for that. It's just like, I can't take it anymore. And I feel horrible for saying that. But I also don't. Like, it's just so fucked up that two things that are opposites can be true at the same time. But then again, like, I don't see how that's possible. But then it is. But I don't know. This is just a weird situation. So, like, I guess that we're just gonna keep living together and not talk to each other. And that's it. Like, I don't know. This is not a normal marriage. And bless you. That was my cat. Not that you care or heard. You know, like Alicia and I, like, we had fucked up childhoods. Our families are dysfunctional. We didn't have healthy models. Or models for, like, what healthy relationships look like, I guess I should say. Because her parents were fucked. My parents were fucked. Like, we did not know what a healthy relationship looked like. So, you know, that's why it's taken us, like, this long to, like, try to get some of our life together. You know, like, whatever we have left of it. Because we can't keep living, like, in our past. And I have been doing that for, like, a long time. But I've been slowly piecing it together, like what a healthy relationship looks like, what a healthy marriage, like what goes into that, like, so I know. And plus I was a counselor for several years, and like, that's the shit that like you talk about with people on like a daily basis. Like Alicia knows this stuff, but, I thought that I was trying to do better and be more like healthy for us, which I did get. I am that. I just was not today. Tomorrow I'll feel bad about it. I still don't feel bad. But yeah, so for the past year and a half, 2 years, you know, whatever time frame I'm going with today, it's no more than 2 years. It's just been at least 2 years. Well, anyways, I'm moving on. What was I saying? Oh, fuck. Oh, that was what I was saying. Sorry. Yeah, the marijuana's kicking in, you know, so I'll probably end this soon, hopefully. But prior to, like, all of the shit blowing up over the last, like, however long I just said, I just haven't felt like I've been married. I feel useless a lot because she's just suffering and there's nothing that I'm doing that's helping, it seems. Even though she says that like the things I do help, it doesn't seem like they do, because if they did, why is she still so stuck? So then I start like thinking about that, and I'm like, why am I doing all this stuff that she says is helpful for her? But like, how helpful is it if she's still engaging in like the same behaviors that she's been engaging in? I haven't felt seen. And, you know, and I feel selfish even just like saying this out loud, but it's true. Like, I mean, we both have mental health issues. I was diagnosed with BPD, which I'm now just going to sweep under the rug and pretend like that never happened. I still think it's autism. It is. I am autistic. The BPD thing, I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. Who knows? But like, we both have mental health issues, you know? So like, that just is what it is. It's not our fault. But like, when I was the one that was like tearing us apart, she gave me the ultimatum of like, you get your ass in therapy or like, we are done, I'm out. And I was like, oh, I don't want that to happen. So I went to therapy. And it worked out. I don't know, I liked it. It's helpful. I'm glad that she gave me that ultimatum, because I don't think I would have gotten into therapy. And we would have ended a long, long time ago. I wouldn't even be like on here recording this. But I've just felt so lonely in this marriage. And I've tried every which way to tell her how I'm feeling while also acknowledging how she's feeling, which is like, stuck in her depression and everything, and tired all the time, and, and sometimes I feel selfish because I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm always thinking about myself, but I am. I mean, aren't we always thinking about ourselves? Even if we're not like narcissistic. I don't know where I was going with that. I should probably end this soon. Yeah, so anyways, I don't know how I sounded in this episode. I'm just sad. I got out what I needed to get out when she was gone, and I threw everything around, and it made me feel good. Bad behavior makes you feel good, doesn't it? Oh, fuck, man. It's like sometimes, like once in a great while, I'll have a cigarette, and I quit smoking years ago. And I don't like the smell of smoke, but sometimes, like, I will have a cigarette if I'm around somebody. Usually it's her sister, because her sister smokes. And it's like, oh my God, that cigarette was great. But then, like, I get the bad breath and the headache, and my clothes smell just from that one cigarette. And I'm like, I don't really want to go back to smoking, so no thank you. And I feel like today I was like, ooh, it felt so nice to just be a bitch. And then, like, it doesn't feel nice that I did that, but I don't regret it. Does that make sense? I don't know. I probably will regret it tomorrow, because you guys know how those things go. Like, it takes a while to come down from some stuff, I guess, but I don't know. Like, I don't want to turn back into that person. I don't want to be, I was a miserable person. I was taking everything out on her, and it wasn't cool. And, I just feel like, I don't know. I just wish that she would want to put effort into not only this marriage, but first and foremost herself. Because I was telling her yesterday, I was crying when I was telling her this, because I was still trying to like talk to her, but still wasn't getting anything. And I just was like, because we were in the kitchen and I was vacuuming, and I turned the vacuum off, and I'm like, like, when are you going to put the skills to use that you have, that you've learned? And I reminded her, I was like, you've been in therapy, and I wasn't doing this to be a bitch. I was just like, you've been in therapy for years. You've been going once a week for years. And this is where you're at right now with everything. And all the stuff I was doing, the laundry, the cooking, the chores, the this, the that, the this, the that, the going to the stores and doing the things, I thought that was so that you could focus on school, work, and yourself, so that you can get yourself like into a healthy state of mind. And when the school she was focusing on, yes. The work she was focusing on, yes. But herself wanting to like, learn who, like, I don't know. I'm not trying to be a dick. I should probably stop talking like I said I was going to twice already. I don't know. I just feel sad. Like, how is this my life? How am I, except for today? How am I the healthy one in this fucking marriage? Do you know, like, oh my God, my whole life too. Like, I've just been blamed for everything. You just get used to it. And there's a lot of shit in my life that I did that I shouldn't have, that I do take ownership of. And there's a lot of shit that I didn't do that people said I do, or assumed I did, or thought, or whatever, that I didn't. It's frustrating to not be understood by my own wife. Like, to tell my own wife, like, I feel like I'm dying in this marriage. I said that, I was talking about yesterday. I think I got away from that. Yeah, I was telling her that yesterday. I said, like, I'm dying in this marriage. I've been telling you this for a long time. I have been crying, ugly crying like this in front of you. You don't have any feelings. Like, you're not even, like, shedding a tear. You're just staring at me like nobody's home. So it's like, I know she's probably dissociating and shutting down. Like, I get it. But it still sucks. And I was trying to just remind her yesterday that, people care about you. People love you. I love you. Even though you have not been nice to me, I love you. And even though we're not working out, like, you need to be happy. You need to put yourself first. Like, I want her to be happy and enjoy life like I enjoy life. Because I do. A lot of my anxieties went away once I got my diagnosis that I gave myself. And I feel so free. Like, that was the peace I needed to get my shit together. And so it's like, how am I being too impatient? Like, how much longer am I supposed to wait? Like, and then I'm like, that's not how mental health works. And I get it. And I just have all of these thoughts all the time. Like, I don't know. I really wanted this marriage to work out, but like, I can't make somebody change if they don't want to change. And I also can't stay with somebody who is not willing to change, like, for the better, not as a person, like, I don't want to be with somebody that, like, is just stuck and staying stuck and has all the resources available to her and isn't utilizing them. I wish I understood more about depression. Like, maybe I just don't get it. I know I don't get it. But I also know that, like, I don't know, like, I don't think I have to keep living like this, though. But then does that make me an asshole for leaving her? Is that, like, abandoning her, even though, like, I have felt, like, just emotionally abandoned, for so long? And I just checked the date of my next therapy appointment, and it's the date that 1 year ago is when I realized I'm autistic. So that's pretty cool. So I don't want to, like, change the date of therapy. And, I want to wait and see, like, how things progress over the next, like, week and a half before I go back to therapy and tell her, like, hey, you'll never believe this shit. Because I'm going to go to therapy and I'm going to be like, Tia, please, you need to believe me. You really need to believe me this session, because, like, I need somebody to believe me. I'm not going to give you money and lie to you. So, like, you need to believe the things I'm saying, because just thinking of going to therapy and telling my therapist that my wife is the one that's, like, the majority of the stuff in the marriage is kind of, like, because of her right now, like, that just feels weird to say, because I'm the fuck up. I'm always the fuck up. I'm never with somebody who is, I guess she's not a fuck up. I shouldn't say that. I don't know. You know what I mean, hopefully. Like, I'm always the one that's, like, in trouble for something, or not doing something I should be, or being a bitch, or, and, like, I've never been with somebody where they're the ones that are, like, being the bitch and, like, all that stuff. That's so weird. I don't like it. Which I can imagine that she didn't like it when I was like that either. But I think the difference is I cared about myself enough to try, and I loved her. I love her a lot still. That I wanted to get better to make us better, and I just wish that she would do that. I feel like, what is the Groundhog Day, where, like, the days repeat themselves. I just feel like we're stuck in this unhealthy pattern, and I want out, and she doesn't. And I think that's just where the conflict is. Like, I feel like I can't keep living like this. Like, I realize there's more to life now. I realize that, like, I know what a healthy relationship looks like now, and this is not it. I don't want this anymore. I don't know what to do. So I guess that's kind of where things are. I don't know. Maybe it was inappropriate that I did an episode like this. But I'm an inappropriate person, so that's not something I haven't heard before. I just don't know what to do anymore. I just feel like sometimes I feel lost, sometimes I feel hopeless, and then like sometimes I just feel content because it's like, not content like that she's going through her stuff, but just like I've separated myself from her in my mind, and I have made it in my mind so that like she can deal with her own shit. Like I've done everything I could. I can't do anymore. I can't give anymore. Like I just feel like the life has been sucked out of me. And I feel content because I haven't had to really deal with any of that once I did that in my head, except for today. I knew it was going to happen. I tried not to make it happen. I was like, you're doing so good. Look at you being mature. Look at you just like dealing with all this shit like an adult. And I fucking knew in the back of my head, it was Alekna. She was like knocking back there. She's like, hey, I didn't go that far. She's like, you've only been like doing the hard work for a year. You think you got rid of me that easily? And she's like, let me come back and show you what I can do. And she did. So I don't want that back. I hated myself I hated that version of myself. Oh my God. I was a garbage human. I was garbage. Alicia should have left me. I don't know. Like she really should have left me. I was a garbage human. God, I'm not now. So doesn't that count for something? I just wish that somebody would notice that is like married to me, that, hey, you're not a garbage human anymore. I'm so proud of you. Like, I don't get any of that. So sometimes I wonder, like, am I making these changes? Are they being seen? And, I have people that tell me that they can see the changes. So I know that it's true that they're happening, but my wife doesn't see them because she's so stuck in her stuff. And I wish she wasn't. I wish she was happy. I wish that there was medication that could help her. I wish that she would just keep using marijuana because she was a really nice person when she was on pot for a little bit. That was fun. I wish that, like, things in her head would calm down and sort themselves out. I wish that she would stop being horrible to herself and stop, just talking shit to herself and thinking so negatively. Like, it's the saddest thing when you see this person, like, aside from the crap that she's been doing, like, you see this genuine, loving, caring human being. Wait, what was I saying? Oh my God. Marijuana, not good. But yeah, I don't know what I was saying. I really should delete this, but we're almost 40 minutes in. So like, if you're listening, that's your fault, not mine. And if you never listen again, I don't blame you. This is the state of my marriage, people. And feels weird to me. This is not normal. But I am not going to invite Alekna back anytime soon. That's not going to happen. I got my fill of her today. She can stay away. I guess I just gotta have to live my life like normal and just pretend that there's not a spouse living in the back of the house, stuck in her depression, not doing anything about it. Like, I just told her that, like, if you feel suicidal, you need to tell me. We need to get you help. Because I don't want that. I don't want to have to find her back there. Because I have had enough of that in my life. I've had to deal with that before. And it's not fun. But I don't think there's a point to the rest of this episode. So if you did listen, if you can relate, great. That's the whole point. If I'm talking to myself, that's okay, because I feel like myself listened to me, and my cats are here, so they listened. I won't bring this up every episode. It won't be a thing that, like, oh, so guess what happened today? Oh, she did this today. Like, I don't want to do that. I just needed to get this out because, I went to crazy town today, and I was like, like, you need to slow your roll because you cannot undo the fucking work that you've been doing, because it's so easy to undo it. Oh my God, sorry, I didn't mean to yell. It's so easy to undo that work. I could just throw all that shit out. But fucking, like, regret sucks, man. Like, guilt sucks. So, whatever. What is the point of all of this, man? Well, anyways, thank you for listening. I will move on to other topics just like it's any other day, because it really is in my world. Like, I'm just doing me right now. I'm fine. I'm not like crying every day anymore, even though I was yesterday and today, but whatever. It's just a weird situation. I have to deal with it. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't have any like example to go off of, like what happens when this is occurring, when one spouse isn't saying anything to the other spouse. And this just, I don't understand. But it is what it is. If there's any major developments, I'll share them. But other than that, like, I don't want to bring this up every episode because I'm sure you don't want to hear it every episode. And there's other things I want to talk about that are related to autism that I've been discovering about myself and that I'm still wondering about. So I'll get back to those episodes. But if you listened, thanks. I hope you don't think I'm a bitch, because I'm really not trying to be. I just feel confused and sad, and I just want my wife to get better. But I want her to want herself to get better. I don't know how that's going to happen at this point, but I hope it does. So, all right. Thank you. Goodbye.